Hello and welcome back. So in the last video, we made our way to Zahan. We got the golden key. So if you recall, we're down here in the southeast corner of the map. This video is going to go ahead and take us to the next two villages, which are both located on that main continent to the northwest of where I am now. Since the last video, I actually spent a fair bit of time leveling up and especially just gathering gold. Because these villages are going to have far more powerful weapons and armor. However, it gets real expensive real fast. So since the last video, the Prince of Canuck ended up getting, I think, three spells since that video. So Sizzle, Kabuff, and Thwack. That Sizzle spell is going to come in handy. It's the upgraded Sizz. Does, I think it's roughly 60 damage to most of the monsters. The Princess of Moonbrook got up to level 21, and she learned primarily Full Heal and Kaboom. I don't remember if we had Kasap before that, but Full Heal just completely heals a character of all damage, and Kaboom is going to be a nice, powerful spell to use in battle. So we're just going to make our way to the northwest. If you recall, the World Tree Yggdrasil is here. If you ever have a character die and you haven't quite learned the, it used to be called the Vivify and Revive spells, you can just come on in to this island here, pick up a World Leaf, go ahead and use that on your characters. Otherwise, you can always just go ahead and just heal up at one of the priests in any town. So here's Kaboom. Did 80 damage to the guys. Sizzle, 53 and 54. So, two new attack spells that are just going to help really wipe out opposing parties. So where we're going now, definitely a step change in strength of monsters. So that's why I did spend a little bit of time leveling up. But the first village is actually just right here along the southern coast. So if you come on in, everything's kind of hidden. There's just this guy up here who's, claiming that everyone left him. He has no idea where anyone went. There's a dog who, unlike past dogs, actually doesn't lead us to anything good. And then there's just this golden door. So now that we have the golden key, we can come on in here. And there's an entire town called Burrowell. If you remember, I believe in the old videos it was actually called Wellgarth. But we're not too far away from the land of Hargon. So up here, this is the weapons and armor shop. Some new weapons, very powerful weapons. So you got the Dragon's Bane. That'll give us plus 15 attack over the sledgehammer that we have currently equipped. The Aurora Blade, which, that's a plus 30 attack for both the Prince of Midenhall or Laurasia and the Prince of Canuck. The Mink Mantle, that's just going to be a very powerful defensive weapon. I'm sorry, defensive armor. And then the Power Shield, which is going to be a big step change in defense. But if you're looking here, 16,000 gold per Aurora Blade, or 65,000 gold per Mink Mantle. That starts to add up real fast. So for right now, I have a lot of gold saved up in the vault, so we're just gonna leave it there. If you come up into this little hut, talk to a guy who will tell you about the Weaver Don Calico. He's in the village of Slewse, which is actually the next village we're going to go to in this video. And he's talking to us about some garment. Doesn't really give us any details. That's actually going to be the old, what was it though? The water. I don't remember offhand. It was some water cloak. But we're actually going to go find him in the next video. We won't be able to get that item quite yet, but that's going to end up being a great armor that we're going to attach to the Princess of Moonbrook. So if you come to this guy, and actually first I'm going to pick up some gold from the vault. So as you can see, I have 40,000 gold saved up. Don't plan on spending it quite yet. If you come to this item shop, you're going to notice something really funky. You got these 3 question marks, and he tells you absolutely nothing. But if you go ahead and talk to him, he's going to offer you some secret offering, tell you not to tell anyone, and then just hand it off to one of your characters. If you go ahead and check your inventory now, you see that you have the Jailer's Key. So that right there is the 3rd key. So we have the gold key, the silver key, now the Jailer's Key. And with that, we can open up all of the locked doors in this game. Come down here and talk to this guy in the garden. And he's going to tell you that in order to destroy the deceptions of Hargon, we need to find some talisman related to Rubus's blessing. So keep that in mind. We're starting to enter the late game, so all these characters are just kind of building on what we need to know moving forward. Up here is just another normal items shop, nothing special. And then if you talk to this guy, he's going to tell you about the Jailer's Key and how he's having troubles finding it. So it's really all there is here until we come up to this corner. He's talking about how this guard, found the thief Fastfinger, but that he's somehow disappeared. Don't know where he went. Don't know what's happened. We've heard about this thief in a couple different villages. We'll go to the left first, and we're told that Hargon dwells beyond the mountains of in this vicinity, and that the only way to get to him is by burying the false idols. Again, that's a clue for late game. We'll just keep that in mind for now. Instead, we're going to come off to the right, come through this door, and here is Fastfinger. So he was arrested for a whole bunch of different things, but the main reason why we're talking to him is the floodgate key for Slewse. He's going to give it to us, and with that, I'm just going to head on out. That's really all that we need from this area. I'm going to tell you right now would be a great time to just kind of level up in the area of this city. You can come down here. The inn's a little expensive, but you could always use Zoom to go elsewhere. Just level up a bit. If you want to, you can go ahead and upgrade some weapons and armor. It's a great shop. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and make my way off to Slewse. So we're here in the southern tip of this continent. You notice that there's a circle of mountains. That is Hargon's realm. So instead, if you look a little bit to the northwest of those mountains, you'll see some orange areas and some rivers with a couple of glowing dots. That's where we're actually going to go right now. So we're going to go to the village of Slewse. And you got to be careful because there are a couple different paths that it looks like you can take, but you're actually going to be blocked by mountains. So bear with me as I fight through all the monsters. One thing to be aware of with these mollusks, they will quite frequently put you to sleep. So if you can, go ahead and just kill them off first, just to be safe. Alright, so we've made our way up here. If you notice, I'm at one branch of a river here to the right. If you take that, it looks like it's going to take you to the village. Gets you real close, but it doesn't quite get you there. You're going to be blocked off by mountains. So instead, you actually want to come around a little bit further to the west. And that was weird. Everyone just up and ran, except for this guy who missed his attack. But instead, like I said, we're going to actually go over to the western river. Come up here a little further. And if you notice, this one just kind of leads around the outer path. So just follow this as far as we can go. Oops. And then from here, we're just going to have to walk our way around the mountains. So around Slewse and around Burrowell, you get a wide variety of monsters, depending on where you're actually standing. If you notice right here, I'm fighting the Baboon and the Tulip. So these are monsters that we've been fighting for a long time. But back around Burrowell, you would have found the Orc and the brainy Baboon, the Orc Chieftain, which is the old Gold Orc. You would have found some Muddy Hands, which were the Goopies, and then some red Goopies as well. So just know that there's a whole bunch of new monsters, a whole bunch of strong monsters, especially around Burrowell. But we're going to be finding them in this area as well as we get past here. So just keep walking your way around the outer path. Here's some dirty rats. Again, nothing that we can't handle. We fought these guys early game. Some other monsters that you'll fight in the, especially the area of Burrowell, are the headhunters and the sorcerers. This guy here, sometimes you'll fight one, sometimes you'll fight two of them. Be careful because he does know the move Sizzle. So if you're fighting two of them, if they both cast Sizzle, that can put you in a pretty bad spot pretty fast. So go ahead, and if there's two of them, don't hold back. Use every powerful spell and attack that you can. If there's just the one, you're going to be safe. So just go ahead and just plow right through him. And you can see the village now. Here's the Bloody Hand, which is the red Goopy, and the Orc Chieftain, which is, I believe, the old, I think he was called Gold Orc. I don't know if this is actually coded in or if it's just my bad luck. But I tend to have terrible luck with actually hitting the Orc Chieftain with spells, for whatever reason. And their Sizzle failed on the Bloody Hand. So as always, just keep fighting your way through. We're almost there. Alright, here's the Headhunter. Again, we would have been seeing him had we been training up in the area of Burrowell. So I'm just going to go ahead and use Sizzle on them, and then just use the Wizard Staff on him. The Sizzle spell and Kaboom will both take out pretty much every monster that we're going to be fighting at this point. So, and since we're about to reach a village and use the inn, MP really isn't a concern at this point. Now the nice thing about Kaboom is it actually goes ahead and targets all of the monsters. So just like that, I can take out the entire map. Costs a lot of MP, but it's worth it. Alright, so here we are in the village of Slewse. So as you're walking through here, if you recall, the the prisoner in Burrowell gave us the floodgate key for the village of Slewse. There's really not much to this village, at first glance at least. If you come down here and talk to this merchant in the garden, he's going to tell you about a fragment of the moon that's found atop the Tower of the Moon, which is just south of this village. If you recall, there's an island that's inaccessible back in the east that we were told by the people of Zahan that you need some fragment of the moon to access. So that's what he's referring to. If you come down here to the weapons shop, similar to in Burrowell, I got some new weapons. You still have the Dragon's Bane, which is plus 15 attack, and the Falcon Blade, which is a weaker weapon, but it allows you to attack twice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and skip that. Magic armor, I could go ahead and buy it for my Prince of Middenhall, Prince of Laurasia, as well as the Power Shield once again, which is a nice upgrade over the shields that I currently have equipped. Other than that, you'll notice that there's this building here in the middle of town with a gold door, seemingly serving no purpose. But if you come down here, you're going to actually find Don Calico, who back in Burrowell, we found out that he's this legendary weaver. And as I mentioned, I can't remember the name of the item, but it's some type of water garment that we're ultimately going to attach to or equip to the Princess of Moonbrook. Right now, whether you answer yes or no, if you've been following along this playthrough, he's actually just going to ignore us. Because we're going to have to go back, find a couple items, and then bring them back to him so that he can make us the item. Up here, that's just the inn. If you need to, go ahead and rest up. Otherwise, make your way north of town. As this dog's indicating, town extends a little bit further to the north. There's a guy he's drunk, telling you, don't tell his beloved where he is. Otherwise, make your way off to the left. Access this with our new jailer's key. And here's the floodgate of Slewse.
Go ahead and open up your inventory and use the floodgate key to open up the floodgate.
And with that opens the river here, so that you can now access the Tower of the Moon. And with that, in the next video, we're going to go ahead and make our way to the top of the Tower of the Moon, get that fragment, so that we can access the island. In the video after that, I'm going to go ahead and make our way through all of the old villages. Now that we have all the keys, we can go collect all of the items that were previously inaccessible. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the Tower of the Moon.